Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope you're doing good. I wanted to talk about something that hardly anyone is talking about, and it's really random, I know, but I'm doing this for a reason, and it's because I was reading a comment on our last video, and someone asked a question about this comet. They said, I believe in flat Earth and have been doing a lot of research into it, but had a question about Halley's Comet and was wondering how you would explain that on a flat Earth if this thing is for real. And I thought, you know what, that's a really good question. I don't know if anybody's looked into that. I want to do some research and find out, because I know this thing was real. People saw it. It wasn't like they just faked it. They faked a comet, even though they could have. But I believe this thing was a real light in the sky. People did see it and looked at it. And there's lots of pictures of this thing. Not as much as I thought they would be floating around, but there's decent pictures out there. You just got to look. And I found this first one here. This was actually the first picture of Halley's Comet from 1910. And since this thing is supposedly seen every 76 years and has been throughout history, from what we're told, this was lining up with the pictures we have 76 years later in 1986. And here is one from NASA. And this was a pretty good picture, and it does look like a real picture of stars. I've taken pictures of stars in recent times, and that's about what they look like. So I could believe this is probably a real picture of Halley's Comet. And you can zoom in on it, look at it. Looks quite interesting, and the first thing I start thinking from new eyes and knowing there's a firmament there is, holy crap, this just looks like a light shining through the firmament. Some sort of sign, not sure what it would be for. Biblically, what it would mean at all, but it was a really bright looking beam shining through the firmament. That's just what I thought, without looking at this thing with any preconceived notions about it being some sort of rock, or what they call it, dust, gas, and ice that just glows in a vacuum as it flies by the Earth really fast. So I don't know how the dust and gas and ice would glow like that. Maybe because it's moving really fast. We could probably try an experiment in the vacuum to see if things moving fast will glow like that. But looking at it, many different pictures of it that I came across, most of them actual pictures of it. And again, to me, it looks like somebody's shining a flashlight into a lake, and you're underwater looking at the flashlight shining through, something like that. Here's what looks like a painting. I thought at first it was a real picture, but I believe this is probably a painting. Could be real, I don't know. Didn't have any descriptions with it. Here's one from December 13th of 85. So Halley's Comet, or keep calling it Halley's Comet. That's what I thought it was called, but it's actually Halley's Comet. It was probably around in December and must have stayed there for a while because it was there in 86. So a little over a month it was visible in the sky at night. Here's another picture of it, kind of fuzzy. Again, just wanted to show you some of the ones I came across. And here is not a picture of the comet, but just light rays shining through the atmosphere. And what really got my wheels turning was when I compared the pictures of this comet right here to light rays shining through water. And holy cow, it looks exactly the same. And if you know anything about the firmament or the waters below or the waters above or anything like that, you know that it has some really cool properties. Just released a video that's taken off about the firmament and its fluid properties when you can see the waves move across it during the lightning sprites. That video is kind of like a prequel to a better video that's coming out that has all you need to know about the firmament, or everything that I can compile about it to answer as many questions, because people are interested and they want to know what is up there. We know it's not deep space, and we know that it has something to do with why they are faking space and why they are spending so much time and effort faking space and getting really good at it and deceiving quite a bit of people, including me, for 33 of the 35 years of my life. I guess almost 34 years of my life. So quite a while I was tricked by these people, and I was kind of impressed by the trickery. But looking at this picture, to me, this is what I feel I'm seeing, is a light shining directly through the firmament, or in the firmament. It's some sort of sign, just like the luminaries for signs and for seasons, and I think it's really cool. So you guys can look at this, compare it. If you find any better pictures and can prove me wrong, this is what I believe it to be, and thought it was really cool. And I do not like to shy away from different things. If somebody says, hey, Halley's Comet disproves flat Earth, I'm not going to go, well, ignore that, because I would really like to look into it with a deeper look and see what it is and be unbiased. But based on my observations from the videos and pictures I've come across, and I'm about to show you some really cool animations from NASA back in 1986. I was not aware that they had computer animation in 86, but it looks like they did. So watch this video real quick. This will be the last thing I show you, and I'll kind of talk about it. But watch this video and tell me what you think of this entire topic in general. And if you have any more wisdom you would like to share with us. And be kind, okay? Like I always say, I don't have all the answers. I don't hate you for believing in Halley's Comet and that it's a rock flying through space or a glowing space dust in a vacuum. I do not think you're dumb for believing that. I believed it, and I had really not thought much about this in recent times. So I'm glad that somebody brought that to my attention so I could look at it and think about it, share it, get some feedback and some wisdom. So watch this video. I think you'll find it quite funny because it's kind of like the stuff they do now.
The comet is the target of study for 5 exploratory spacecraft from Europe, Japan, and the Soviet Union, each whizzing by the giant snowball of ice, gas, and dust from different vantage points. The European Space Agency's Giotto spacecraft will be the most daring probe by taking a flight path just 300 miles in front of the comet's head. Giotto hopes to photograph the comet's nucleus. 2 other highly instrumented Soviet spacecraft, Vega 1 and Vega 2, are scheduled to fly by the comet at a distance of 6,000 miles, hoping also to obtain images of the comet's nucleus. Lastly, 2 Japanese spacecraft studying Halley are Planet A, which approaches the sunward side of Halley at a distance of 120,000 miles, and Sakigake, which will pass about 4 million miles from the comet.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the animations. I thought they were pretty spectacular for their time, and they were really good at putting those in our faces so we can see them constantly. And they have lots of animators working around the clock, and it's just crazy to me. If they're doing this for research, it just doesn't seem like they should produce so many really good animations all the time. I think they should be really spending all their time and energy on exploration. Maybe that's just me, but again, I think this is something to look into. And when it comes to asteroids, comets, and meteors, they always talk about them coming down to Earth. And another comment that I read a while back that was pretty interesting is somebody said, they're always coming at the Earth. Why is it that they're coming at us when we are also moving through space at 490,000 miles per hour? Aren't we going towards them as well? So how would something coming toward us, with us moving the speed that we're moving, come at us in a straight line? Wouldn't that line look arched based on our 2 directions? Kind of like when you throw something out of a car window. No, it doesn't just go or appear to go in a straight line. And I was quite impressed because you guys are saying some things that kind of make your mind hurt when you think about it, like all the stuff that goes into it, and the lies and the cover-ups and the false science. And it's crazy. It's cool stuff, but wanted to put this out there, get your thoughts. Not saying that I'm 100% right, but I do know that there is a firmament, and that this had something to do with some signs that we were supposed to see. Not really sure exactly what it was or what the purpose of it was, but really cool. And if it is like they say it is, it will come around many years from now when I'm much older. I forget the exact year. I believe the year will be 2061 when the comet returns. So hopefully by then we'll have some really cool cameras, maybe the Nikon P12000 or something, and we can zoom way in on this thing. And I'm sure by then we'll have really good pictures and videos of the firmament, because now that people have figured it out, of course we're going to try and capture it as much as we can. It is very hard to capture because it is transparent. You can see the stars, the sun, the moon through it, and that's why the footage that I just released of the firmament is so spectacular, because the lightning sprites were able to light it up at night and seen from high altitudes above the clouds around the height that the Go Fast rocket came to a stop, is where these things are. So I thought that was really cool. going to put out a video about the firmament here pretty soon that answers many questions about it. It's very mysterious, and it is mentioned in the Bible quite often, and I thought it was definitely something that needs to be put out there. I thank you guys for sharing it. Please download it if you can, because I believe it will be deleted very soon, and I know that now that we know what it is and what we're seeing, and so many people have seen it, just got over 300,000 views, so quite the wake-up call for those who have never looked into this. So it's getting people to ask questions and question reality. It's what I'm trying to do, to bring people to the Father who they have been lied to about for years, their whole life really, and fed a false system and a false belief. So it's really cool. If you don't know who the Father is and anything about creation, seek truth, ask Him. He will show you things. I don't have all the answers, so don't ask me, ask Him. He will send you in the right direction. It's very important when we're seeking truth just to ask for wisdom and ask for truth, because it will be thrown at you probably more than you can handle, like it did to me when I thought I was ready and said I was ready for all of this. It's still overwhelming, but it's awesome. And again, the truth will set you free. The truth about our earth and the way it moves and its shape is not that truth that will set you free. It's not the biggest revelation in your life. It's just one of many truths that you need to understand, and will help bring you closer to the Father as time is running out here on this earth. So thank you guys for tuning in. I love you. The Father loves you. You're a beloved creation. Keep being awesome, and we'll be back with some crazy videos that will probably get our channel shut down. And I will try to get those out though as soon as I can. Thanks again. God bless.